能够准时的参加我们今天晚上的 Viking Night 活动。我因为我说过了，我们大部分是讲中文，所以我想在这个开场白呢，我做一个，今天做一个大概的介绍啊，就是说我们这个，整个活动呢，是由 Barry 来讲，Barry 他是那个 Viking 的 Director of Sales，所以这我们是非常的荣幸，真的是让他在百忙之中有这样的一个机会，给我们大家介绍那个 Viking 的产品。我是自己都觉得非常非常的荣幸，今天有这样的机会。他呢大概会做一个30到35分钟的Viking 的那个主要的介绍，然后呢给大家会有 Q&A 的时间，就是怎么样呢？你可以直接那个就是在听的过程中，如果你有任何的那个问题，大家知道我们在这个 Zoom 会议底下有一个是可以写问题的，你可以用中文写，然后我们可以翻译给 Barry，然后让他呢给我们做那个介绍，这样就有什么问题呢，可以让大家就可以先写出来，好吗？嗯，然后其他的我就说你们今天我是用了7:45的时间，因为我发现我以前会问大家吃过晚饭了吗？因为我知道中国人喜欢吃饱了没有，对不？那么今天我不问你们，我觉得你们应该都有足够的时间，我会问你们，你们都买了圣诞礼物了吗？今年的圣诞礼物你们买了吗？如果你们买了今年的圣诞礼物，那么你们听了，如果你们没有买的，可能你们可以把 Viking 的一个产品当做你们的今年的圣诞礼物。如果今年的买了没有关系，可以做明年的、后年的都行的，好吧？那么非常，那我就马上把时间就交给那个 Barry。OK，Hi, Barry. I think I finished my introduction. So
Okay.
then everything now I hand over to you.
Uh,
Everybody, let's welcome Barry.
Thank you so much, Dong Mei. It's my pleasure, my honor to speak to you and your guest, all of your friends and clients that have joined tonight. And thank you so much for your interest in Viking. I'll talk for a little bit about all of our products. You see our river cruises. We talked about some of these destinations as people were joining. These are all in Europe on our river cruising, and that's where we began. We've been in business for 27 years now. And it's grown and grown. I've been with the company for 8 years. So let's advance here. And you see now on the screen, coming from a small little river cruise, when we first began, we had 2 ships. To now we have almost 100 ships. By the end of next year, we will have 100 ships. So we are the largest small ship luxury cruise line in the world as far as the number of actual ships. So we have 82 river ships around the world. That'll be 92 by the end of next year, and then our
Um,
ocean ships too.
Barry,
So
we cannot hear you.
oh, they can't hear?
Okay, yeah, now good.
Okay, now good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's award winning too. We've won several awards. This shows our river cruising, our ocean cruising, and our expedition cruising all have been voted #1 by the readers of Condé Nast Traveler, both in 2023 and 2024. So a highly rated cruise product. It takes you to the best places all over the world. And our difference really is about the destination. The ships are beautiful, but we really want to get you to the countries and places that you want to see and have enriching programming that's put together for you to experience the destination. And that includes regional entertainment on board, regional cuisine, and of course, our great attention to detail and service by our staff. Excuse me. These are all of the inclusive values, things that are included when you cruise with us at Viking. There is one shore excursion that's complimentary in every port of call. That's by a local knowledgeable guide. We have free Wi-Fi, all of your onboard meals, beer, wine, and soft drinks during lunch and dinner, specialty coffees, teas. Hey, everyone. Lectures, and we have ground transfers that are included when you do your air through Viking. And Dongmei can talk about all of your choices when it comes to air. You can do your air separate or through Viking. Many of our passengers do choose to use Viking Air to go on their cruise. Let's talk about river cruising first. Excuse me. So we see here one of our ships in Europe. This is on the Main River in Germany, and we are in the heart of many destinations with our river cruising. So let's talk about the most popular itineraries. These three that I'm about to show you are the ones that we have offer March through November of every year, and they are our most popular itineraries. The Rhine Getaway is an 8-day from Amsterdam in the Netherlands to Basel, Switzerland, and it visits a different port of call every single day. What I love about river cruising is that it's your floating hotel that's taking you to each of these ports of call. So you can do Amsterdam to Basel or start in Basel and end in Amsterdam. So it's a one-way cruise. And you choose which direction that you would like to go. We have next year, 2026 and 2027 available. And you see we're visiting the Netherlands, Germany, France, and Switzerland on this cruise. We do have pre and post hotel extensions if you would like to come in a little early or stay a little later. We do have packages in Amsterdam, in Lake Lucerne in Switzerland, and even in Lake Como in Italy, and in Basel in Switzerland. Another very popular 8-day itinerary is in Eastern Germany, and this is on the Danube River, sailing between Budapest, Hungary, and Regensburg, Germany. And you see that we overnight. So Budapest, we are overnighting. We're docked right in the heart of the city here near the chain bridge. Then we are in Vienna for 2 days. We're in Krems, Austria, Passau, Germany, and then we're in Regensburg, Germany for 2 days. So it's nice to have an itinerary like this where we are docked in place for those 3 different overnights to give you more time to explore Budapest, Vienna, and Regensburg. There'll be one tour that's complimentary in Budapest, one that's complimentary in Vienna, one complimentary in Regensburg. And in all of our ports of call, there are optional excursions that you can buy from Viking, or you can go off and do self-exploration, explore these cities on your own. This is the Danube, romantic Danube on a map here, so you can see we're traveling to Germany, Austria, and Hungary. We do offer those pre and post hotel extensions. If you'd like to come in earlier or stay later, we can do Nuremberg or Prague in the Czech Republic. We could do Budapest for a pre or post extension. The Grand European Tour is our most popular cruise for first-time river cruisers. So if you've never done a river cruise before, this is a great way to see a large part of Europe in one 15-day cruise. We can start in Amsterdam and travel all the way to Budapest. You overnight in Vienna and overnight in Budapest, Hungary, to see more of those beautiful capital cities. We're cruising on the Rhine River, on the Main River, on the Danube Canal, on the previous Rhine cruise that I've showed, and on this one, right near Koblenz, Germany, is where we see all of the castles. There is a stretch of the river there where there are 40 castles in a 40-mile stretch. It's really quite beautiful, but we're cruising different ports of call every single day except for Vienna and Budapest, where we spend an overnight. This is a great option, but there are many others to choose from. Let's show you a little bit about the ships that we're traveling. So, excuse me. On these 3 itineraries that we're sailing on, that I've just shown you, we're sailing on what's called a Viking longship. We have 60 of the Viking longships in our fleet in Europe. So we utilize these on the Rhine River, on the Danube River, on the Main, on the Rhone River in the south of France, and in the Bordeaux region. We have full suite category rooms, as well as verandas with a full walkout balcony, French balconies, and even standard staterooms. So there are staterooms for every budget on our Viking longships. Very intimate. I like to describe it as it's a floating hotel. And the great thing about river cruising, if you personally, if you're prone to any type of motion sickness or seasickness, you don't experience that at all on a river cruise because there are no waves. There's very little movement. So great serene Scandinavian designs throughout the staterooms and the ship itself. I will show you just a couple of images here of the ship. You can see these guests walking down. We're very relaxed at Viking too. We don't have formal nights. You can wear very comfortable clothes when you're heading out for your tours or relaxing on board the ship. We say resort casual at dinner, so just dress pants or slacks and a shirt for men or women, or a nice dress for ladies, but no formal wear. You don't need to wear a suit or a tie at Viking on any of our cruises. Just very relaxed and comfortable. And I mentioned the stateroom choices. On the river ships, we have the full walkout verandas, we have French balconies, we have the standard staterooms, and we have two different suite categories that have two separate rooms to give you more space. All staterooms at Viking are double occupancy, so just two people per room. We don't have any triples or quads. So keep that in mind when you sail with Viking. But every couple would need their own room. But we can do rooms that are near each other if you'd like to be across the hall from one another or next door to each other for those that are traveling together. A couple of other European rivers to consider, or one other, is the Douro in Portugal. This is outside of Porto, the beautiful bridge there. We have 4 ships that are sailing on the Douro River, and we're about to add a new 5th ship for 2025. These have a similar design, but are smaller in capacity. They are about 106 passengers on board, so just over 100 people on the Douro River. We sail on the Douro River in April through early November each year. We also do exotic destinations. So we have 2 ships on the Mekong River in Vietnam. This is an 80-passenger ship. The Viking Saigon was built 2 years ago, and the Viking Tonle will be debuting in March of this year, March of 2025. So coming up next year. So we'll have 2 ships. This is what we call a cruise tour. We have hotel stays in Hanoi, where we start the cruise, then visit Angkor Wat in Cambodia, and then we sail on the Mekong River to Ho Chi Minh City. Egypt is that has been extremely popular. We do have 4 brand new ships, plus we're adding 4 more over the next 2 years. So we are actually building and owning our own ships in Egypt. This is the Viking Osiris that you see in this image. They are all sister ships, so all identical, 82 passengers, very, very intimate and convenient, and a great way to see all of the wonderful sights along the Nile River. We are cruising there in the Nile from kind of late August all the way through the fall and winter and through the spring to about early June. It's when we cruise on the Nile. Many different options to choose from. There's too many to go through here. So if I piqued your interest about river cruising with Viking, Dong Mei can give you some great suggestions and her team about where to cruise. The Rhine Getaway, the Romantic Danube, and the Grand European Tour are those first cruises that I showed you, but we have over 30 itineraries to offer, whether it's cruising in Holland and Belgium in tulip season, or it's doing Paris to the Swiss Alps. It's cruising the Bordeaux region where there's great wine, or in the south of France from Lyon and Provence. Wonderful food. I did the Lyon and Provence itinerary back in April of this year and fell in love. Really wonderful food and great wine. We do have some new cruises the ones that you see highlighted with the red new. The Treasures of the Rhine is a winter cruise. That's January and February when we're operating that 10-day cruise between Amsterdam and Basel. Treasures of the Danube is a wintertime cruise and sailing in January and February between Passau and Budapest. The third one, the Rhine and Main Explorer, is a cruise that's sailing between Basel and Nuremberg on the Rhine River and the Main River. So whatever you choose as your first river cruise, I would be glad to have you, and you will enjoy sailing with us at Viking. I want to mention river cruising a little closer here to Canada. This is on the Mississippi River down in the US. We do have one ship here called the Viking Mississippi. It's a larger ship because the river is wider, deeper, and larger. Bridges are taller, so we have a ship that will feel a little bit more like an ocean ship. So 386 passengers on the Viking Mississippi. We have 6 different itineraries. So if you've ever thought of cruising the Mississippi on a very modern cruise, so it doesn't have the paddle wheel, it's a very modern, intimate cruise up and down the Mississippi River. So we have cruises from 8 days all the way to 22 days on the Mississippi River. But some others here, you can do the full river from New Orleans to St. Paul. That's the longest one. That is 22 days, but there are several shorter cruises down to 8 days being our shortest duration. And this is a look at the Viking Mississippi, the Explorer's Lounge. Very comfortable, 2 levels to the Explorer's Lounge. And you can look through the windows to the bow of the ship. Very relaxed out there, comfortable. Our Viking wait staff will come out and take your drink orders. We do have a very economical Silver Spirits beverage package for just a few dollars more if you'd like to have unlimited beverages throughout your cruise, or you can always charge them back to your room by glass. We always have the free wine and beer during lunch and dinner. Wonderful staterooms on the Viking Mississippi. All of the staterooms, except for one category, we have a few French balcony staterooms. We have 6 of those. Those are accessible staterooms. All the others have a full walkout veranda that you can walk out on and enjoy beautiful views from the ship. Now, our ocean cruising, we've been doing ocean cruising since 2015. That's when we launched our first ocean ship. We just took delivery of the 11th ship last week, and her name is the Viking Vela. They are all identical. They are really beautiful ships under 1,000 guests. So ocean cruise lines are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We are staying small. So that means under 1,000 guests in all Viking cruises from river to Mississippi to our ocean product. We're adults only as well. So no kids on board. Everyone has to be at least 18 years old to travel on a Viking cruise. When our ocean ships debuted, one thing we wanted to make sure of is that every stateroom had a veranda. So there are no inside staterooms. There are no French balconies. Every single stateroom is on a full walkout veranda. So beautiful, beautiful ships that do travel all over the world. These ships will go to Alaska, to Norway, to South America, through the Panama Canal, Japan, China. I'll talk a little bit about some of the places we cruise. The Mediterranean. We cruise year-round on these wonderful, relaxing ships with wonderful restaurants on board. This is the pool area with a retractable roof, so we can open and close this saltwater pool. There is a second pool at the rear of the ship. This is our horizon pool. So when you enter this, you feel like you're looking all the way out to the edge of the ocean. You could just swim right out there. This is on that top deck at the rear of the ship. So 2 pools to choose from. And then our thermal suite. Our ocean ships include this complimentary thermal suite with hot and cold water treatments that are the Scandinavian way of opening and closing your pores. There's a sauna, there's a snow room, there's a hot pool, there's a cold pool, just very relaxing. We do have a full service spa too. You can schedule massages and other treatments. Those are at a nominal fee. But this thermal suite that you see in the image here, where the spa and the snow grotto is, those are complimentary. The fitness center on the ocean ships is also complimentary. No charge for the fitness center. All included. So you'll find Viking to be a very inclusive product. All of your dining on our ocean vessels is included as well. That includes our main restaurant, which has breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and 2 signature specialty restaurants, Manfredi's, which is handmade Italian, and the Chef's Table, which is a rotating tasting menu. This is going to be a wine-paired menu, 4 courses, 3 wines, 1 for each of those courses. 1 is a palate cleanser. One of those courses are, but you'll have 3 wines that is paired with your dinner, and that is all included. No additional charge for those. We have our World Cafe, our pool grill, 24-hour room service is available on our ocean ships, and that is included also. Stateroom categories all include that full walkout veranda, but we have suites. We have our mid stateroom class is called the Penthouse Veranda. I encourage, if you're considering doing a Viking ocean cruise, look at the Penthouse Veranda, then look at the Penthouse Junior Suite, which is one category above that, and look at the Deluxe Veranda, which is one category below. Each of these categories come with specific inclusions, amenities. So Dongmei and the team at Dongmei Travel can go over all of these inclusions, and you can make the best choice for you. If you're celebrating a milestone birthday or a milestone anniversary, maybe you stretch up and do a category above. But look at that Penthouse Veranda and the categories on either side. That's my personal recommendation. Now, our ships do sail all over the world. With 11 of these ships, we are very heavy in Scandinavia and Northern Europe, and we are sailing in the Mediterranean year-round. So you see many different options here. There are over 80 different itineraries when we look at our ocean ships and combinations that you can do together. So my recommendation is to think about the areas that you would like to travel, talk to Dongmei and her team about finding the best itinerary to fit what you're looking for. We have many 8-day itineraries. Quite a few are going to be in the 11 to 15-day range. And we do have longer itineraries, including even world cruises. But we do the British Isles, we do the Baltic, we do the Mediterranean. We are here in the Americas. We do Alaska. We do the Panama Canal and the Caribbean. Just a few. Caribbean is not a large focus for us, but we do some Caribbean this time of year. We do Asia and Australia and ocean and river voyage combinations, so that you could even start on a river cruise in Basel, Switzerland, do the Rhine getaway to Amsterdam. We will take you from our river ship to one of our ocean ships there in Amsterdam, and you'll sail up to the Norwegian fjords. If you're looking for great price points, we are in the Mediterranean in what we call the quiet season. We are there year-round, so we're there in the spring, the summer, and the fall. But the quiet season is the winter months. So December, January, February, and March. These are just some sample itineraries that we operate during that time of year. And it's mild and moderate temperatures. It's, I would say, 15, 16 degrees Celsius for the high. Can be, drop down a little bit in the evening, but warmer than here in Toronto. So if you're looking for a cruise getaway, not, something that would have a really good price point, is our quiet season Mediterranean. We do some year-round cruising here in the Mediterranean, but one Greek Odyssey cruise that we do right here in the middle, that only happens in the quiet season. So it's a great time to visit Athens. We do cruises to Venice, Rome, Barcelona. The quiet season Med features many fewer tourists. So it's your major points of interest are less crowded during this quiet season. So just something to consider, but we do cruise there year-round. I wanted to mention, particularly to your audience, Dongmei, is that we are back in China. We did river cruising on the Yangtze for many years, which we still haven't returned to river cruising, but we have the Viking Yidun. It is our second Viking ocean ship, is now in a joint partnership with the Chinese corporation, and it is a Chinese flagged vessel. So we can visit some very unique ports of call that many of our competitors can't take guests to. So this is land and cruise combination, seeing sites within China and Japan. This is the Gems of China itinerary. I actually have my slides a little out of order. I meant to show that one a little later on. So I'm going to come back to China. I do want to show just a few new itineraries that are coming in 2026 and 2027. So just to give you an idea of places that we can take you with Vikings, is Spain and Portugal, the Amalfi Coast in Africa, the British Isles and Ireland, the Baltic, the Bergen to Oslo. We do Iberia, France, and England. And then the Baltic Discovery, which is going to Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. Let me get back to China now. So sorry about that slide being in the wrong place. So this is a China program where English is the language on board. Now our staff are Chinese. So our staff on board the Viking Yidun are Chinese. So they will speak Mandarin. But our main language on board is English. Here we are in Shanghai in this image. These are some of those ports that we talked about. Most cruise lines that cater towards people from Canada and the US do not have access to these ports, with the unique feature of having the Viking Yidun being a Chinese flag vessel. We do have access to some ports of call that most aren't able to go to. And then our land program takes to many other places within the beautiful country of China too. So this is one of the 11-day option here, starting in Beijing and sailing to Hong Kong, or going from Hong Kong to Beijing. So you see that we are sailing along the coast there, and then transporting over to Beijing by motor coach. This is the Pearls of Japan in China. This is a combination cruise where we are visiting land sites within China and then cruising along the Chinese coast in Japan. So you can do this one in either direction. This particular routing here is showing Tokyo to Beijing, but we do offer starting in Beijing, doing the land program first, and then going to Tokyo. So these particular cruises in China are sailing in September and October, and in early November of 2025. So this coming fall, if you're looking for a getaway, this is we'd love to have you consider sailing with us in China. The Viking expeditions, these are the Viking ships that come right here to Toronto. They are both in Antarctica right now. So the Octantis and the Polaris do take you to the South Pole. If you are looking to check that bucket list and visit the last continent, we do visit Antarctica and we do set foot on the continent. You can walk with the penguins there in Antarctica. Beautiful ship and rated #1 expedition by Condé Nast Travelers. We have a lecture hall with all of our experts on the wildlife and the marine biology and all of the research that we're doing with the ships. Those will take place here, in entertainment as well. So there'll be singing and musical performances in this venue while you're sailing there in Antarctica. Beautiful touches around the ship itself. This is the Explorer's Lounge. One of my favorite places on board the Octantis and the Polaris is the beautiful, the carpeting, the maps on the wall, the constellations on the ceiling. Very gorgeous, really relaxing and comfortable. We have a fleet of Zodiacs, a fleet of kayaks, and special operation boats, 2 of those that are there to take you on off-ship experiences while you're in Antarctica. And the Zodiacs will take you to touch land and walk on the 7th continent and all of the great wildlife that you'll see. We have an indoor hangar space where the first special operation boat leaving each morning leaves from a ramp. And then if you're on the last one at the very end of the day, we'll bring that special operation boat back on board through this ramp. So all of our expedition equipment is stored here in this hangar space, and this is where you will come to to board the Zodiacs or the kayaks or the special operation boats here in the hangar. That spa concept that we talked about on the Viking Ocean ships, we have, I think, even improved them, made them even better on the Viking Expedition ships, so the Octantis and the Polaris. We have the beautiful views outside the window while you're in the thermal suite. So the different doors that you see around this room, those are the hot and cold treatments about that you would use to open and close your pores. So there's a sauna, there's a snow room, there's hot water and cold water treatments. All of this is included. The fitness center across the hall is included too. So a very inclusive product. Our main Antarctica Explorer is a 13-day journey from Buenos Aires, where we will do our check-in and briefings, and we'll head to Ushuaia, and we're going to sail across the Drake Passage to Antarctica. So we spend day 4 through 10 down on the Antarctica Peninsula, visiting all of these locations here. And will vary from cruise to cruise in what order or where the ship will go. It's very weather dependent, but we'll get your ship to the best places to utilize all of the special operations and kayaks and Zodiacs that we have on board. So you can see all of the wildlife too, whale watching, penguins, seals, walruses, and more there. This is the Welland Canal, just down at Lake Ontario, between Lake Ontario, sailing past Niagara. These ships do come to the Great Lakes, so we spend the summer months here in the Great Lakes area. If you are looking to cruise out of Toronto, we can sail from Toronto to Milwaukee, or from Milwaukee to Toronto on an 8-day itinerary. And we do the Great Lakes Explorer and the Undiscovered Great Lakes are heading up up north towards Thunder Bay, north and west, right, and then back down to Milwaukee. We do offer a 15-day itinerary called the Great Lakes Collection that sails from Toronto to Duluth, Minnesota, or Duluth, Minnesota to Toronto. It is a chance to cruise on all 5 Great Lakes in one 2-week cruise. So that's something of a badge that you've done all 5 Great Lakes on one cruise. It's a very unique itinerary, and no one else offers anything like that. So really unique. The expedition ships will be going to the Arctic this summer, so we do have some space in July, August, and September. We'll be sailing from Toronto to Nook, Greenland, and then from Nook, Greenland, sailing round trip into the Northwest Passage, and then back to Toronto. You could do this in one long combination cruise. You could start in Toronto and sail up to Nook, do the Northwest Passage to Beechy Island, come back to Nook and fly home. Or we offer it where you could fly to Nook, sail the Northwest Passage, and come up. We also do it in shorter durations too, if you'd just like to do the Northwest Passage. So you could start in Nook and end in Nook, and then come back home by air after that's completed. But I'd wanted to show we have one longer itinerary, 27 days, if you'd like to do all of that on one cruise. So I know that was a lot of information, and I'm sure there may be some questions and answers. I do want to, before we get to those, I wanted to share a little bit about our exclusive show offer. So we do have a $100 per person shipboard credit for any new Viking booking that's made through Dongmei Travel by the end of the year. So through December 31st, it's valid for rivers, oceans, expeditions, and our Mississippi itineraries. We'll add that on. Most of our guests use that shipboard credits toward optional excursions that they'd like to purchase, or if maybe you'd like the Silver Spirits beverage package, you could utilize it towards that, or even towards purchasing prepaid gratuities. If you'd like to have those gratuities taken care of, you can use the shipboard credit towards that. So I hope I've given you an interest in cruising with Viking. We would love to have you. We do see quite a few groups travel with us. So if there are 5 or more couples that would like to travel together on the same itinerary, we do offer a group discount. Dongmei can talk to our groups department, and we can help find space and dates that are available for the itinerary that you're interested in traveling together or we can offer an additional discount. So the show offer special that we are talking here does not include our groups though. So just our groups department, our groups discount would apply instead. But it's a great way to travel if you'd like to travel together as a group and save some money. All right, Dong Mei, are there any questions that I can answer? I'm sure there may be some, and
Yes,
I'll turn it over
Barry,
to you again.
you did a great job. So much information, and everywhere you show the whole world to us. So I just myself, I want to go on vacation, not home, not stay home. Okay. Yes, I did have some questions from my guest Teresa Yu. She had several questions. I don't know if you can see from your screen. Your screen.
See if I can check the chat and
Yeah,
see if
yeah.
yeah.
It is from Teresa. Teresa. I
Oh,
think
I
Teresa.
don't see that one. You may have to read it for me.
Okay. I think the first question is, can the slide deck be shared?
The
Slide deck. So, or Teresa, can you can unmute yourself. You can ask directly to Barry. I don't know if that's the slide deck. So
slide.
yeah,
The veranda. If the veranda, is that what she means? Can it be a shared veranda?
I am not that sure. Maybe we can. Okay, I'll wait a bit to see if Teresa want to come back to a little bit more regarding the slide deck. But she did have another two.
Okay.
So then, the second one, she is asking, is there a European cruise route most senior friendly?
Yeah, uh, they're all very senior friendly. Most of our guests are age 55 plus. I will just warrant that there in every port of call in Europe, there can be places where there's uneven pavement because of these are old cities. They have kept that tradition and keep that design in place. So it's just be very careful when you're walking. There are fewer ramps, but they are walking cities. They are very easy to get around and walk from and see spots from right from where the ship is docked. So it is easy to get around. And on our tours, we have that included tour in every port of call. We do always have one tour that we will do what we call a casual pace, where we move a little slower and try to see all of the key sites, but maybe do a little less walking. So, but that I would say that's what any of the itineraries would be great for that. Just be aware that there can be um, more steps, fewer ramps than what we would see here in Canada or even in the US.
Okay, yeah. Teresa, I think, can I speak a little bit, explain in Mandarin
Sure.
regarding the questions?
Yeah.
喂，你好，Teresa。其实这个的话呢，其实欧洲的这个整个的旅游哦，这是我给一些我个人的这种见解，就是整个欧洲的话呢，如果你想去旅游的话呢，尤其对老人家的话，其实River Cruise 跟 Ocean Cruise。就是 cruise 是对他们是最 friendly 的一种。那么尤其走内陆的话呢，那么你会发现 river cruise 是一种非常合适的方式。因为 river cruise 首先呢，它是走这些，它停的点儿，大部分情况下都已经在城市中心了。然后要下去看的那个景点呢，其实它是就在那个码头附近就有车就可以接你去。所以呢，如果你觉得，当然你要去走博物馆，你要去走一些那种 walking tour，那还是需要一点体力的，对吧？但是我觉得，如果我们能出去旅游的话呢， 应该这样的体力要求的话，基本上是可以实现的，就是可以做到。那么假设说有的人的体力非常今天觉得有点累，那其实你也可以就是说你不需要去跟团，你可以自己直接根据自己的需要，就在码头附近走走。那么码头附近走走，你觉得会怎么？也是很好的一种体验，因为你会看到可能他当地的那种旧市场啊，老的那种城区的这种建筑啊，就在那个附近。你同样可以看到就是说，很经典的这种小城镇的这种状况啊，或者城堡啊，这些景点。所以这个我补充一点好吗？这也可以给一些大部分人对这个河轮的如果不是特别清楚这种旅行方式的话啊，那么我就在这边多讲一点，因为河轮的话，它是给55岁，它的设计的理念是给55岁以上的，你会看到55岁到80岁中间这部分的客户是最多的。因为他们发现这个旅行方式是最符合他们的。好，great，谢谢。Thank you, Barry. I think Teresa have another question. So she said, when is the best time to do the river cruise in Europe?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our most popular months are May and September because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and that is when school is still in. So the cities are less crowded than the summer months. So the most popular months for our guests are May and September. Um, if you are looking to travel when prices may be a little lower or looking value, then the March and April, October, November are good months. The summer months can be good value too, but it can be very warm, especially in July and early August. So just consider that. So May and September is always the most popular months.
Perfect. Okay, so I hope this one answer Teresa your question.
Donna, you lost your voice. We can't see what you say.
Really?
Oh, there we go. Got you back.
Oh, got me back? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so my internet connection is not stable. Sorry for that. So then I think Connie asking for the food.
Yeah.
Barry, so she's asked, can you talk more about your food? And another guest is asking for, do you offer like a gluten-free, some kind of special food request? Can you give
Sure.
a little bit more about this?
Yeah, we'll talk about river cruising and what dinner is like. First question, I'll answer the second question first, I guess, is yes, we do have gluten-free options. It's no additional charge. All of your food on board is included. There are no additional charges, and we can meet all dietary restrictions. So if you do have a, a salt-free diet or you have a vegetarian, we have vegetarian options at every single meal. We do have some vegan options, so we will have vegan options more and more. We are continuing to add more vegan options as well. But I have a son-in-law who my daughter and he traveled on a Viking cruise and he has a severe nut allergy. So the chef came out and spoke with him every single meal and explained, this is what I'll do for you. We do have one dish here that would normally have nuts, but I'm going to prepare it for you without nuts. So really talk through everything to make sure that everything was brought would fit his allergy requirements. So let's talk about dinner on the river cruising. We have multiple courses. So we have entrees, appetizers, entrees, and desserts. There is a regional side of the menu and there's a classic side of the menu. So every single night you'll have on the classic side, there is always salmon, there's always steak, and there's always a chicken dish that are available. Then, in addition to that, the regional side of the menu will have 3 to 4 different entrees that will change each port of call based on the area we're traveling. So if we're in Budapest, Hungary, it may be a goulash or Hungarian dish that we may offer for one of those regional entrees, but there'll be different regional choices, and those will you can mix and match. So you can choose a classic appetizer with a regional entree, and then maybe have a classic dessert. But we'll have regional desserts as well. So there's many choices every evening for your evening meal on a river cruise. We do have just one dining period, so that always starts at 7 p.m. I recommend you can arrive a little later than that, but I do recommend to enjoy a well-paced meal and all 3 courses. It's good to be there between 7 and 7:15. We do have a second dining venue too, our Aquavit Terrace, where you can have dinner there as well. And the same menu is available in both the Aquavit Terrace and the main restaurant for the evening meal. For lunches and for breakfast, we do offer fantastic choices there, some regional choices. We have eggs cooked to order if you'd like omelets or specialty options. And we do have special chef selections, things like French toast and pancakes and more that we can do for you for breakfast. On the ocean ships, we have more choices because it's a larger ship. We do have the 2 specialty restaurants, Manfredi's, which is fantastic Italian and handmade pastas. There are, I believe, 15 different choices as entrees and Manfredi's alone. And then our main restaurant will have an always available classics and regional choices too that will vary, much like our river ships. And then we have the Aquavit Terrace and World Cafe on the ocean ships, which is it's cooked to order in small portions. So 6 to 8 portions are cooked at a time and brought out to the serving line. So you're being served. It's not a buffet because it's being cooked in an open kitchen concept and you see everything come out. We have a wonderful noodle bar there too on the ocean ships. So the food is wonderful on board. Well, I think you'll really enjoy the options that we have for you on both river, oceans, and the expedition ships.
Okay, great. So I think people really show great interest in Viking. And there are, I think there are 2 more questions regarding river cruise.
Yeah.
So then one question is regarding the low water season. So can you give us an idea when is the low water season for the river cruise?
It's been in the news from year to year. There have been some years which are better than others. I will say this, the 3 rivers in France, we've had no low water issues for the last 8 or 9 years. So France, the rivers there are good. They're well controlled by locks. The Rhine River is really good too. We've had very few issues, just a week or 2 weeks here at a time. The Danube is where there have been more challenges for low water. And I would just say it's unpredictable. We don't know exactly when it will happen, but there is less snowfall in the Alps, which is contributing to that. So if you are concerned about low water, I would say avoid August, maybe the last week of July. That's the most likely when we do see it happen. That's the time that it does. Now, our 8-day itineraries on the Danube are designed so that there's very little impact with low water unless it's very severe. So we can sail between Passau and Budapest almost any time of year, even with low water, for most of that itinerary. The Regensburg to Budapest, there can be sometimes where we will just stop in Passau and we'll be able to still see Regensburg by motor coach. So it adds about a 30-minute, 45-minute ride to the motor coach, but we can still see it. So again, if you're concerned about low water, I would avoid August and look at May, early June, April, November, December. Those are months where we don't have low water. The concern there is it could be if there are heavy rains, there can be high water. It's just like our rivers here in North America. We don't know what we're going to have, but we do. Our ships are identical. We can also do ship swaps if we have a larger impact where we would move from one ship to the other. It's very rare. Only about 5% of our cruises each year require a ship swap, but we do have identical sister ships sailing the same itinerary, and that's how we handle it when it does happen. The other question is about entertainment on board. So we do have nightly entertainment, mainly consisting of our program director and our entertainer. So we'll have a singer that will be playing piano. Sometimes they do guitar as well, and there'll be nightly entertainment every evening before dinner and after dinner in the lounge area. If the ships are smaller, it is again, think of it as a floating hotel. So we don't have a stage or a theater, but our program directors will incorporate some fun games. So it'd be trivia games or music trivia games that they will do from time to time. We'll do some other entertainment that would be bringing off-board performers onto the ship. So an example would be docked in Paris. We may have a trio of opera singers come on board and perform one evening. When we're docked in Vienna, we could have a trio come on and play Mozart and Strauss. On the Rhine River, it could be folk singers, German folk singers. So at least once during your cruise, there will be one night where we bring on some off-ship entertainment for your entertainment. But then every single evening, we have our own program director. He or she will be entertaining you with some fun programming, and then our singer.
Okay, good. Let me see. Okay, one more. So, okay, let's answer the last one. Then we'll probably if everybody have any other questions, you can send to me, and then I'll try to answer with Barry's help.
Yeah.
Okay, so then okay. Oh, there is one. How often you offer last minute deals?
So for us, for last minute, let's talk about what the difference between Viking, because we travel all over the world. If you're thinking of cruise lines that operate mostly in the Caribbean, right? They have more last minute deals. It's easier to get to Miami or Fort Lauderdale from here in Toronto. For us, last minute is 4 to 3 months out, because you've got to think about the international air and getting there. So we have very few cancellations. Our cancellation rate is low, but there can be times where we have a sailing where we may have had a group drop out, or we have a few couples that were on it have canceled 4 months, 3 months out. So that's where you may see they're going to be very close in though. So you have to think about us that 4 to 3 months. And Dongmei can look for those for you when we do have those special offers. Oftentimes they will be for our standard staterooms on our river ships. So those will not have the walkout veranda or the suite categories. Those typically sell out, and we do see fewer cancellations. There's always a chance there might be a last minute cancellations, but when we're filling last minute space, that 5 months, 4 months, 3 months out, it tends to be in the standard stateroom, which just has a window. So keep that in mind too. If you're looking for a very particular stateroom category that includes a veranda, the walkout veranda, you may want to book a little further out to make sure you have that.
Okay. Okay, great, Barry. So you see, every last minute deals come back to us, come back to Domain team. Okay, we have a lot of information because every day we are dealing with all kinds of inquiries. So then we are really we are the insider most time. Yeah, we are in the front, so everything, whenever everything happened, we know that. So come back, you always contact us. You can email us, or you can call us, you can WeChat us. Our office, as everybody know, is open from Monday to Saturday and from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So we are kind of like a full service. I know everybody know, most people know that, but if you do not know, anytime you can go to our website, dongmeitravel.com. They have a lots of information there. And even we have some Viking River Cruise introduction on that page, on our website. Okay, I think, wow, we already have 1 hour for 60 minutes, unbelievable. So thank you so much, Barry. So I think it's a lot of very valuable information, and you make us mind open and my eyes open. So everybody, so thank you so much. So I think tonight for someone maybe a really very special time. They may, Barry, you do not know, because in the beginning for the introduction, actually I mentioned everyone, if they did not buy Christmas gift for this year yet, they should consider Viking, okay? And if even already bought for this year Christmas gift, then you can consider for your next Christmas gift, okay? Well,
Yeah, even a Christmas market cruise, maybe do a Christmas market cruise in Germany next year too. That'd be a great
yeah,
trip. It's
yeah,
been my
it's a,
pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We're really glad that you're interested in Viking. We would love to have you sail with us.
okay. And thank you. Okay, Barry, let me talk to them in Mandarin. I'll say
Okay.
goodbye to them first, then I'll come back to you.
Okay.
谢谢大家，非常非常感谢。今天我看大家应该是非常的认真的在听，所以问的问题是很深刻的。是有的，是不是？是不是？如果觉得还有些问题没有解答到的，或者你们觉得时间不够的，那么欢迎你们跟我们私信啊。我们一定会回复你们，就是说，不管你们说有多少人想去啊，什么时间想去啊，什么样路线啊，这些的话，因为每家的这个情况不一样，所以呢，欢迎各位一定跟我们私信，好吗？那么今天晚上呢，我们非常就是暂时就是说我们要说再见因为我们已经把宝贵的时间已经占用了 Barry 宝贵的1个小时的时间了，好吗？那么我们先暂时就跟大家说再见。我们祝大家圣诞快乐 ，Merry Christmas and Happy New Year。再见啊，Goodbye everybody ，Okay, thank you, Barry. So, I feel so thankful and so grateful and honored to have you be with us for this 60 minutes. I know, yeah, you know, very sure your presentation, your knowledge will give some guests a very special time, and they will definitely to very sure someone will take the Viking, because your product is so beautiful, it's well represented. I think it's well organized. So yeah, so far I know so many people and they experience Viking products. They are happy clients.
Yeah.
They just keep coming back.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they come back over and over.
Yeah,
And
so
I
that's
saw
why.
some folks typed that they had done the Grand European tour this year or so. That's great too. You have folks that have experienced it. So I'm really appreciate you inviting me to do this for you. Love to talk about it. And we could do them again too. So
Yeah, so I
do
think
another one
so.
in
We
the
need
future.
another time because we have so many happy clients with you, and they coming back. Say last year they took Viking, and this year they book again, and they book really far ahead. Like so for in 2 years, last year I have a clients booked for next year's cruise. So that's why from whatever the action, I know the product itself it says the story, right? Mhm.
Well, if there are any questions that come in over the next few days that, just email me, let me know if you have anything I can answer. I'll be glad to. If you do make bookings, look for the special offer. It should automatically add on. But if for some reason it doesn't, just send me the booking number and we'll get it
No
added.
problem. No problem. Okay, thank you, Barry. I won't keep you for hold you for so long. I really appreciate. Let's keep in touch, okay?
You're very welcome. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year too.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.